I kept saying, when's Ted Cruz going to say something bad? Come on, Ted. You've been sick. Come on, Ted. Say. But he kept saying, good, good, good. And I'm just waiting, and I'm saying, good. Because a lot of people do not like Ted, to put it mildly. And I kept saying, what? Am I the only person that thinks he's a nice guy? So as it turned out, he finally went off the wagon a little bit and went a little crazy. And it's very, he's being a great hypocrite. When you think that, he talks about he's going to be Robin Hood, he's protecting, then it finds out that on his personal disclosure form, he didn't disclose that he's borrowing a lot of money from Goldman Sachs. And he said, well, he forgot. And then, so that he forgot about Goldman Sachs. But then today they have another story where he forgot another bank, Citibank, and he forgot. Now, how do you control Citibank, and how do you control, and right fairly, about Citibank, about Goldman Sachs, about these big, powerful banks? You're a senator, and yet you owe them money with a personal guarantee. I don't think it works that way. So he obviously didn't want the voters to know that he is totally controlled, lock, stock, and barrel, by Citibank and by Goldman Sachs. And I think that's very hypocritical, I'll be honest with you. I think it's very, very hypocritical. And then he spoke badly about the people of New York, really, because, cities are cities, but they're basically people. They're brick and mortar and they're people. And he spoke very disparagingly about the people of New York. And I've been with the people of New York for a long time, but when the World Trade Center came down, I watched these incredible people rebuild from the day it came down. Literally, they were there when other buildings in the surrounding area they thought were going to fall, and you had people working, trying to help the most horrific sights you've ever seen, trying to help, do whatever they could. And I was there when we actually thought the U.S. Steel building was coming down. And I'll never forget that I was standing next to these two massive, wonderful firemen. And we heard a screech, like a screech, steel on steel. And it was a couple of days after the buildings. And I was down there we had a crew of people that, to help. They needed a lot of help. I've never seen anything like I saw. And they heard a screech. And everybody thought that the U.S. Steel building was coming down. And it was not so far from us. And these two guys, they were massive guys, two really big, because I'm a big guy. And they grabbed me. I must tell you, honestly, I never knew I could run that fast. But they were running just as fast, and they had my arms, and we were just running. And these are incredible people. And when you think, firemen coming in from Long Island and other parts of New York. You're talking about insulting 20, 25 million people if you talk about the area. Where they drove in, they heard about it, and firemen driving in that had nothing to do with it from Long Island and other parts. And by the way, driving in and coming in from Iowa and from all over the country. We had fire departments from Iowa coming in. It was so incredible to see and to witness. And people coming in from all over. But firemen coming in during the blaze, they knew that building was in serious trouble. And they got there, they come through the tunnels and up, and they stop and they run. They run into the buildings, and they're running up the stairs, and they knew it could collapse. Everybody knew it could collapse. And the buildings are coming down, first building, second building, and you have people running up the stairs as that's happening. And Ted Cruz criticizes New York and the people of New York is a disgrace. I think it's a total disgrace. A total disgrace. So I just, I have to say, so I thought what he said was very, very, very sad.